Hey everybody, this is GGB. I hope you guys are excited for this conference championship. We're getting ready to determine who the best conference is. Only 4 conferences remaining. But if you don't remember, Brandon Sheriff went down with an injury in the Mountain West Big Ten game in the fourth quarter. Now, it's possible you guys don't remember this. Maybe you skipped the fourth quarter because it was a blowout. Maybe it's been such a long time because it's been, 2 weeks now? It's been a long time. It's been 12 days, so around 2 weeks since that video came out. So that is why I am doing this today. I'm going to be rolling a 3-sided die to determine how many weeks Brandon Sheriff will be out. Now you guys know the deal. 1 week basically means he will be out for that game. So that basically nothing happens. He'll be back this game. 2 means he'll be out the conference championship. If the Big Ten make it, he will be available for the Super Bowl. And if I roll this number 3 here, Brandon Sheriff will be gone for the entire rest of this championship. So obviously, if you're a Big Ten fan, you don't want that. That's the number you don't want. So let's see what's going to happen. Here we go. The roll to determine it all. Let's see what happens. How long will Brandon Sheriff be out? I roll a 1. I don't have to change the roster at all. You can see it right there. It's a 1. The Brandon Sheriff injury will not affect anything, guys. So let's get into this game.
Hey everybody, this is GGB co-host Poppers. We're getting into the conference championship. Big Ten Titans, Tom Brady, Stephon Diggs, Michael Thomas against the Big 12 Cardinals, which a lot of people didn't expect to make it this far. Remember, the Big 12 Cardinals they were underdogs last game against the SEC. Many people didn't expect them to make it past the SEC, and they went out there and they kind of killed the SEC. They really played extremely well, and this is an interesting matchup because the Big 12 and the Big 10 have played once before, only once, and that was in the Super Bowl. The best of the Conference of Champions Super Bowl. Unfortunately, I didn't get to show it to you guys because it was kind of like a test run, kind of. But the Big 12 went out in that game and gave the Big 10 a whale of a game, and the only reason the Big 10 won it was because of Tom Brady's heroics at the end of the game, getting them a touchdown with less than 10 seconds left on the clock to win the game. But it was an amazing game, and I think we could get that here tonight. Again, the Big 12 Cardinals are legitimately one of the best teams, I guess one of the 4 best teams. Despite being the 6th seed, they really have impressed so far, and they really have a chance here tonight. I really do believe they do. Yeah, if Patrick Mahomes has to play out of his mind like he did against the SEC. Remember, you have to play well. You have to play extremely well. You have to carry the team on your back if you're Patrick Mahomes. You did it in the SEC game. This isn't like the MAC game where you can just count on your defense making stops. The Big Ten's going to get some touchdowns. That's going to be returnable by Tyler Lockett. He's going to bring it up the middle. He's going to bring it about to the 28-yard line, and that's where this offense is going to take hold. And again, it's Mahomes. It has to be Mahomes. Mahomes has to be the guy. He just has to be. He has to be the heroic man that we all saw last game. He has to be the heroic man that we all know and love in real life. It's going to be tough. If you're watching for an underrated matchup, watch for this defensive line going against this offensive line, because this offensive line is really good for the Big 12. Trent Williams, Lane Johnson, Cody Whitehair, among others. Really good players, and then you have this defensive line that's great. So, shotgun here from Mahomes. Looks like a 5-man rush for the Titans. They drop off with only 4. Mahomes has plenty of time. He fires it underneath to Mixon. It's going to be quickly tackled for about no gain, although they're going to give him 1 yard on that play. And yeah, if you want to be, there's a difference between beating the SEC. The SEC, obviously Mahomes was cooking on all cylinders. Let's be honest, Tyler Lockett wasn't. Joe Mixon wasn't. Those are 2 of their better offensive players. If they want to win, those 2 have to be going tonight. Looks like maybe another 5-man rush. They do bring a 5-man rush to them. It's a screen, but he gets sacked by Joey Bosa. And this can bring up an early 3rd and long. It's pretty crucial here. If you're the Big Ten Titans, you'd love to be able to get the stop here early on. Mike Gesicki's over there dancing on the sidelines. Yeah, nice job getting in there really quickly if you're Joey Bosa. But, man, this Big 12 offense is they're struggling here early on, and this place is a rocking for these SEC Titans. But big time play for Patrick Mahomes. Looks like a 4-man rush, although I could see them bringing a blitz. A shotgun here from Mahomes. It's 4-man rush, a little spy on him, I think. He fires it to an open Mark Andrews, who picks up the first down. And if you're the Titans, you cannot leave Mark Andrews open on that play. He is the guy you key in on. Him and Sterling Shepard in an amazing SEC game. And I understand Sterling Shepard, that was because Tyler Lockett was being locked down. He got better matchups. But Mark Andrews is a guy that's going to dominate you if you don't really worry about him. You really do have to focus on Mark Andrews. And if you don't, then you're going to be in serious trouble. So this is a weird formation. I think it's 2 running backs set with a fullback on the field. They go run with Mixon, who's going to pick up about 7 yards on that play. 7 yards they count him for. I think Mixon could have kept going up the middle, but still a very good game for Mixon. Devin McCourty is credited with that tackle. But yeah, 2nd and 3, and suddenly the drive's going well after the Big 10 Titans forced a 3rd and 15, but they gave it up. Shotgun here for Mahomes. Looks like a 3-man rush, although I do believe they'll probably bring one of those linebackers on the blitz. They bring many linebackers on the blitz. They went draw, and that's going to go nowhere. Actually, negative 3 yards in that play, causing a 3rd and 6. So another early 3rd down. Great play call, I guess, by Mike Vrabel. And Mike Vrabel I've always thought of him as a defensive head coach in the NFL, but the Titans' defense just never has had enough to back it up. He's really backed up this defensive standings this season, in my opinion. You look at what he's finally getting players that are really good for his defense, and he's really using them extremely well. But Mahomes has to be heroic once again on this drive. Looks like a 5-man rush by the Titans, which means the offensive line got to do their job. It's only a 4-man rush. He fires it to Danny Amendola, who makes the catch for the first down. And Danny Amendola is a guy that didn't do a whole lot in that game against the SEC, but he was one of those players on the last drive that officially put the game out of reach for the SEC. Him and Hollywood Brown kind of destroyed it on that drive, despite not being doing much on the other drives. And yet another big-time play by Mahomes to keep the drive alive for this Big 12 offense. Shotgun here again from Mahomes. Looks like, again, a 5-man rush, although they've been dropping him out every now and again. Let's see if they keep it. They bring in Amendola in motion. They go fake handoff to him. Fires it to a wide-open Mark Andrews, who picks up about 21 yards on that play. And Mahomes has been perfect. He really has been. I mean, he was heroic in the SEC game, but he never made a pass where I'm like, oh my God, that's a Mahomes-esque pass, or like he didn't take deep shots. What he did, and what he did very well, was, it's weird to say, he was a very effective game manager. And I mean, like, some people use that in a negative connotation. I don't know. I guess technically it wasn't a game manager, because game managers rarely, I don't know. But what he did was he was a very good point guard of the offense. He got it to his open men who were running on slants or outs or curls. They bring Andrew back onto the field, so likely a run with Joe Mixon. Shotgun here from Mahomes. They do actually go pass here. So he fires it underneath the Mixon right as he was getting... Oh! Mixon evades the tackle, ends up still only picking up 5 yards on the play. 6 yards actually on the play. And what a play that was. Mahomes was getting hammered while he got the play off to Mixon, and Mixon's able to make a guy miss. Ends up picking up 6 yards on that play. So very impressive play there by Joe Mixon. Looks like it might be a rush. A blitz here by the Big 12 Titans. They do bring a 5th guy, fires it underneath to Mark Andrews, who once again has picked up another first down. Mark Andrews' 3rd catch of the drive, 3rd first down of the drive. And once again, the Big 12 Titans and this killer offense is looking at a 1st and goal. And this is what you got to be worried about if you were the Big 10 Titans heading into this game. Couldn't your defense, despite having all that talent, really stop this offense? Because it really doesn't know. I don't know if it's stoppable. It is such a good offense with Mahomes running it. Shotgun here from Mahomes. I believe it probably will be a blitz by the Titans. I believe that they go run up the middle with Mixon. He is quickly tackled for about a 2-yard gain. And Mixon hasn't been able to get it going here early on, despite defensive tackle being the position of weakness, mostly on this Big Ten Titans team. It's probably the position I feel least confident about if I was a Big Ten Titan fan. But they bring their safeties up, which could indicate a blitz. They go shotgun here with Mahomes. He brings Amendola in motion. He goes a little dump-off pass to Amendola, who cuts up the middle and only gets up about 3 yards on the play. So once again, Mahomes is looking at a 3rd down on this drive. Now, he's converted what? He's converted 2 up to this point, I believe. But that's still pretty impressive to drive. Can he convert a 3rd one to get this touchdown? Looks like it might be a blitz from the Big Ten Titans. That means he got to target Mark Andrews. He fires it quickly to Mark. Oh, is that Mark Andrews? That's Mark Andrews. I'm pretty positive. Mark Andrews for the touchdown. I call it, guys. But, yep. Hey, everybody. We're back at this once again. I'm sorry, but I'm an absolute moron, and I forgot to put in the USB drive. Otherwise, I can record up to an hour on the USB drive while... Otherwise, I have to record in like 10-minute segments or whatever, and it kind of sucks. So that's why I go with the USB drive more often than not. But I've been editing recently, and I haven't been recording. So it was in my Mac instead of out in here. Normally, it's out in the Xbox already. So I thought it was all set up for me already. And I went to start recording, and I recorded for about 10 minutes. And then it said that thing about it was done, clip was recorded. And I was like, no, I'm an idiot. But, yeah, the Big Ten Titans are going to get to see the field for the first time on offense. But the Big 12 Cardinals set a pretty high bar. Ooh, man, Justin Tucker has a leg. I forgot about that. It's going to be returnable with Raheem Mostert. He's going to bring it out to about the 24-yard line before being tackled. And out on the field comes arguably the greatest quarterback of all time in Tom Brady. Man's a legend. I mean, there's no other way around it. 7 Super Bowl rings, and he already has a conference. He won the first conference of champions. And then last year he was benched for Russell Wilson, and Russell Wilson, he didn't make it past the conference championship. But yeah, I mean, Tom Brady is undefeated so far in the conference of champions when he is the starting quarterback. But 3 tight ends set here for the Big Ten Titans. Under center is Tom Brady, likely going to be a run to Saquon Barkley. They send their 3rd tight end in motion. They go run up the middle with Saquon. He's a huge hole. He's going to bring it for about 9 yards on that play. And yes. See, well, I was talking about how I don't know if you can stop the Big 12 offense, just how powerful that team is. I don't honestly know if you can stop this Big Ten Titans offense. I mean, there's so many players you can go to that are so good. Under center here is Tom Brady. Looks like a 4-man rush. They do run it with Saquon. He's going to get tackled in the backfield by none other than Nick Kwiatkowski. I swear, every time I'm calling a Big 12 game, I say this man's name so many times, and it's because he is so huge for this team. I honestly believe he is if I had to pick a defensive MVP for this team, it would be Nick Kwiatkowski. That is how hugely important I believe this man is to this team. I don't know if he's the best pass coverage, and I honestly don't believe he's the best at pass coverage, but man, he is so quick at diagnosing a run play and getting up there and making the tackle, and he rarely misses. They have a 2 tight end set here with Andy Yanovich on the field. Likely going to be a run with Saquon Barkley on 3rd and 2. So big 3rd down here for the Big Ten Titans. They do go run with, I don't believe that's Ezekiel Elliott, their main power back, and he ends up picking up just enough to get that 1st down. And Nick Kwiatkowski gets his 2nd tackle of the ball game. But the Big Ten offense keeps going. We've yet to see a pass by Tom Brady, and I'm really looking forward to it because we saw how good he started out in the Mountain West game. They got just enough for that 1st down. Man, that was close by Nick Kwiatkowski, but they end up picking that up, and I'm looking forward to it because I really do believe the corners for the Big 12 are rather good. So we're going to see how well this passing game works. Shotgun here for Tom Brady. The 4-man rush. he's going to have a forever to pass. He gets pressure eventually, but he's going to get it out to Michael Thomas, who picks up that first down and a lot more, about 6 yards after that. And, yeah, Michael Thomas is obviously the guy Xavien Howards is going to be matched up on for the majority of the day. You got to believe so. Xavien Howard being most likely the best corner left in these playoffs. Let's see. Yeah, no, I honestly do believe that Xavien Howard is the best corner left in these playoffs. Best corner. Oh, actually, Jalen Ramsey's up there. So outside of Jalen Ramsey, I believe Xavien Howard's probably the best corner left in the playoffs. Tom Brady goes under center here with Saquon Barkley. They go pass. He's going to have time. He fires. It's going to be incomplete, but there is a flag on the play, so we'll see what that is about. It's going to be holding on the offense. Richie Incognito ends up getting that penalty, making it a 1st and 20 for this team. Good defense there by the Big 12 Cardinals on that little curl route. There's Brandon Sheriff. We all know the interesting thing, the question everyone had heading into the day was whether Brandon Sheriff would be able to play in this game or even in the rest of the year thanks to his injury in the Mountain West game. Luckily, the die rolled in his favor, and he got it. So they go run here to the outside with Saquon Barkley, who's going to get tackled in the backfield by another player that I love so much for this Big 12 team, and that's Jason Verrett. Jason Verrett is, I don't know how to surround him. He's basically their nickelback. He comes in nickel downs. So he's not a primary staple in this team. Like the Cardinals rarely don't run nickel downs. Like it's not like the Saints where they run it almost it's their standard defensive formation. But when I swear I say Jason Verrett's name so many times, that's because he does make a lot of big time plays, whether it's a pick or forces an incomplete pass or he makes a tackle. He does so many things for this team. But 2nd and 22, it's not looking great so far for this Big Ten Titans. They bring a 4-man rush. Oh, actually, they bring a blitz, and he's going to get sacked. And the Big 12 Titans get a sack from a defensive lineman, which did not happen last game. The Big 12 defensive line did not get to Dak Prescott at all in the SEC game, and they get home here tonight against the Big Ten Titans. They force an early 3rd and 25, and you could get the ball back to this offense that has been so good. Nice play by Jerry Hughes. Great call bringing Nick Kwiatkowski in on the blitz. He takes out Saquon Barkley, and that lets Jerry Hughes do his thing and gets off the edge, and he makes a big-time sack off the edge. So 3rd and 25 for this team. If you're the Big Ten offense, hopefully you can force something magical, but you might just want to get a couple of yards so you can try and pin this Big 12 offense that looked really good on the opening drive. So shotgun here for Tom Brady. They bring a 4-man rush, which means he's going to have a long time to pass. He fires it underneath to Allen Robinson, who makes the catch, I believe, but only ends up picking about 2 yards up on the play, forcing a 4th and 23, and that's going to be likely a punt here for this Big Ten team. Yeah, they show the offenses on the field. This is 100% going to be a punt. It is 100% a punt. So, punt is off. Let's see if this is returnable by Tyler Lockett. It is going to be. He's only going to be able to bring it up to about the 30-yard line, though. So, still good field position for this Big 12 team, though. And the offense is going to retake the field. And, I think Patrick Mahomes completed 6 passes on the drive, or maybe 7. I think it might have been 7, but 4 of those passes went to Mark Andrews. 2 of them went to Joe Mixon. So early on, not a single catch for a wide receiver. Actually, that's not true. I'm sorry. Danny Amendola has 1 catch on the game. But again, I actually really like this formation by the Big Ten Titans. You don't know if you're bringing the linebacker or not. They actually do bring the linebacker. He fires it out quickly to Mark Andrews, and ends up only picking about 2 yards on the play. But Mahomes is still perfect on the day, and Mark Andrews gets his 5th catch already at 53 yards. And this is why Mark Andrews is the outside of Mahomes in the offensive line, the most important player on this team, in my opinion. So, shotgun here with Andrew back on the field. They actually go pass underneath. Oh, nice pass there on the slant to get it to, I believe, Sterling Shepard on that play. Sterling Shepard gets his first catch. And remember, Sterling Shepard went off against the SEC Giants. He absolutely killed it he was one of the major reasons they ended up winning that game by that many points. Sterling Shepard was a dominant force to be reckoned with in that game. We'll see if he can match that today. Shotgun here from Mahomes with Mixon beside him. They go pass. 5-man rush. He fires it to Danny Amendola. And early on here, Mark Andrews and Danny Amendola have been the major players on this offense for the Big 12 Cardinals. And it's obviously you expect Mark Andrews looking at his overall. But Danny Amendola is kind of a sneaky good player. Like I was talking about earlier in the ACC game, yesterday, Jamison Crowder being it wasn't yesterday. Yesterday was the FCS Division 2, Division 3, and Pac-12. But Jamison Crowder being a sneakily good slot receiver despite not placing well on the team. Danny Amendola is kind of the same thing. Shotgun here from Mahomes. Looks like a 5-man rush. They bring Amendola in motion. They go. Oh, he's going to have a lot of room, but he ends up cutting inside. But that's going to be a face mask. That's going to be a face mask and 15 more yards on the leg. Or is that going to be holding? Oh, that's going to be holding on Sterling Shepard. I thought that was going to be a face mask. Brings up a 1st and 16, and that could have been so many more yards. God dang it. Look at that. Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady's still 100% passing. That's pretty chill. There we go. I fixed it for me. But yeah, 1st and 16, and that's the space you want them if you're the Big 10 Titans. And if you're the Big 12, you're hoping you come into Tennessee today. You go into an away atmosphere. Now, again, they were just in New York last week. So, I mean, it's not like that's not that far of a drive. And they've already beaten a pretty good team on the road so far in the Conference of Champions this year. But I feel like you're going to need some serious help to beat the Big 10 Titans this year, and you don't want to get penalties like that. So shotgun here from Mahomes. They bring Danny Amendola in motion yet again. They do the same play, and that's going to end up being disastrous, end up not getting anything on the play. Brings up a 2nd and 16. Danny Amendola gets his 4th catch, though. And again, like I said, I guess they saw something in the film. Maybe Cliff Kingsbury studied some film, and he figured out that he wanted to run a lot of these jet sweeps with Danny Amendola because they've run it at least 3 times so far today. So 5-man rush here. It looks like for the Big 10 Titans, they keep it. 6-man rush, actually. Fires it. Nice catch there. A nice pass there by Mahomes to Sterling Shepard. And yeah, he's still perfect on that day, but brings up a 3rd and 4. That was nice coverage. That really was some really solid coverage, but unfortunately just wasn't enough to get a deflection or a pick by Denzel Ward. 3rd and 4 here. This is a chance if you're the Big Cardinals you can go up 14-0 if you keep this drive alive. They bring Andrew back on the field, which I think is weird for a 3rd and 4. Unless they go run with Mixon, they don't. He's going to throw it to a wide open Hollywood Brown. He's going to go into the end zone. And 2 of the receivers that hadn't done much outside of that last drive for the Big 12 Cardinals in Hollywood Brown and Danny Amendola have both been so huge here early on, making big-time catches with the high volume of Danny Amendola. And, you got Micah Hyde. And Micah Hyde has proven out to be the liability for this Big 10 Titans. You saw a matchup on Danny Amendola, and he was getting exposed earlier. Hollywood Brown ends up getting the matchup, and he ends up getting the touchdown. And they're going to go up 14-0. It is 14-0. And the Big 10 Titans offense, it looked good until some penalties and the sack really kind of derailed their drive last time. But before that, they were looking really solid on offense. Probably the running with Saquon Barkley and Ezekiel Elliott is a smart decision. It looked like that's where they were really getting after that Big 12 team. Have Tom Brady run a little bit off the play action. That's kind of how Tennessee runs their offense in real life. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a little bit of that, despite having Tom Brady as your quarterback, just focusing on the ground game a little bit more. And I like it. I really do like it that Raheem Mostert has turned out to be the kick returner for this team. I normally put this player with the highest kick return overall at the position, no matter whether he's starting or not. For instance, as you'll see, For the Big 12, Tyler Lockett's the return man for this team, despite him being the starting number 1 receiver. Because I think it adds a little bit more to the game. But I do kind of like that Raheem Mostert is he gets to see the field. It's not very often in any of these teams that the third string running back will see the field. Like, we are not going to see, dang it, who is it? Chris Carson's the number 2. I don't know who the number 3 backup is, I'm going to be honest. But shotgun here for Brady here. They go, quick pass out there to, who is that? That's Stephon Diggs, I believe. Stephon Diggs making his first catch of the ball game. And, yeah, this is why you got to watch out for this team. They have so many receiving targets. But let's all remember that last week they played the SEC, and the SEC had they had Julio Jones and Amari Cooper and Mike Evans and Odell Beckham Jr., and they still weren't able to beat the Big 12. So empty set here for Tom Brady. It looks like a 4-man rush by this Big 12 team. It is a big 4-man rush. They bring a blitz, and they get it out to George Kittle, and that's going to be George Kittle's first catch of the ball game. He ends up getting 10 yards in the first down. And this is what's so killer about this offense. There's so many great players that he can get it to. Allen Robinson is yet to make a catch, and he was kind of a dagger in the side of the Mountain West during the divisional round before Michael Thomas and Stephon Diggs got going. He was kind of the man for Tom Brady, so don't be surprised if we see him getting more involved here early. They bring Mike Gesicki onto the field despite they didn't pass to him at all last game. They bring who's it? Is it Michael Thomas? They might bring Michael Thomas in action. They hand it off to him. He gets 7 yards on the play. Earl Thomas there with the tackle. And the secondary is, I think, my favorite part of the Big 12 defense, despite Nick Kwiatkowski being my favorite player. But you look at that defense, you got Xavien Howard, Chris Harris Jr., Jason Verrett, Earl Thomas, Deshaun Everett. Actually, he's going to go under center here. He's going to pitch to Saquon Barkley. There's a lot of running room. He's going to pick up the first down, but not much more. Tackle made there by Nick Kwiatkowski again. So 1st and 10. And this drive has been pretty successful for this Big Ten Titans. As I was saying before, the only reason I think that they got off last drive was because of the penalty, the holding penalty on Richie Incognito. Under center here with fullback Andy Yanovich on the field. They bring Mike Gesicki in motion. Likely going to be a run with Ezekiel Elliott. They do go run up the middle with Zeke. And he's going to pick up about 5 yards on the play. 4 yards on the play, actually, they call it. And we're coming to the end of this first quarter, guys. I've really enjoyed it so far. It's been kind of an offensive juggernaut match of a battle so far, with the Big 12 Cardinals yet to punt so far. Shotgun here from Mahomes. This looks like a spread offense. They go 4-man rush. He fires underneath Saquon Barkley. This is quickly tackled by Nick Kwiatkowski, but I don't know what the penalty is going to be. Penalty is going to be holding on the offense, and what another killer penalty, this time by Tristan Wirfs, and that's the second holding penalty for this Big 10 Titans team, and that brings up a 2nd and 16. And while you weren't going to get the first down on the other one, but it was going to be like a 3rd and 4 or 3rd and 5, now it's a 2nd and 16. You got to get 11 yards back to be able to get in that kind of range again. So under center here with, they go pass. Brady's going to have forever to throw this ball. I think he ends up throwing it away despite not having that much pressure on him. But the pocket was, it was shrinking a little bit. So 3rd and 16, and the Big 12 Cardinals are a stop away from forcing another punt, which, again, I've said it before. I thought the Big 12 Cardinals, they were held back by their defense, but their defense has looked so good over the past few weeks that I think they are legitimate Super Bowl contenders. But Tom Brady goes screen to Saquon Barkley here, who's going to get tackled for about a 2-yard gain by, is that Xavien Howard on the play? Is that him? Nah, it's Quandre Diggs. And yet another safety. Watch, the safety depth for this Big 12 Cardinals team is both impressive, and it's one of the main reasons I think they can win this game is you can replace any safety on the field legitimately, and you're good. 4th and 14, they show they're having the offense on the field. I bet this is a punt, but I don't know if they're going to get it off before first quarter ends. I bet they are now that I see them on the field. So they're going to punt this ball away. We're going to see probably one play of Big 12 offense. That's going to go in the end zone. So, yeah, 5 seconds left. We're going to see like one play, and then I'm going to have to say adios, amigos. But, yeah, I'm kind of hyped for this Big 12 team to retake the field. They've been so good on offense. Mahomes has been the best point guard this team could have asked for so far. Shotgun here. They don't bring that normal 5-man. Looks like it's going to be a 4-man rush for this team. It is a 4-man rush. They go handoff to Joe Mixon. Is quickly tackled. But that's going to end it here. Tackled by probably Joey Bosa. But everybody, this is GGB, co-host Pupper saying adios, amigos.